Bongo, 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 bongo cero. Riquiti que va sonando el cumbachero. Bongo cero que se va. Bongo cero que se va. Cumba, 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 cumbachero. Bongo, 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 bongo cero. Riquiti que va sonando el cumbachero. Bongo cero que se va. Bongo cero que se va. Y suena así el tambor. Riquiti. Ay, tucutumba. Y vuelve a repicar, riquiti. Cumba, 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 cumbachero. Bongo, 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 bongo cero. Riquiti que va sonando el cumbachero. Bongo cero que se va.
Five, four.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this second session of Latino Perspective. I'm here with my good friend, Dr. Doug Patterson from the University of Nebraska. We've been discussing this magnificent event that's going to come here to UNO. And Doug, if you wouldn't mind, let's just go ahead and get into the actual conference and,
right.
some of its logistics.
Well, we started the conference, as I said, 20 years ago, and we're now on our 20th year, so our 20th anniversary. And this is the first time we've been on the UNO campus. We're being there because of the fact that the Barbara White's Community Engagement Center just opened in March. And this is a wonderful facility, and its whole focus is to network the needs of the community and the resources of the university, as well as the resources of the community and the needs of the university. So we will be there. It's appropriate that one of the first major big events happening at the center is going to be the Pedagogy and Theater of the Oppressed Conference. For the conference, people make proposals. So as of October, November, December, people are writing proposals. Teachers saying, this is how I work in my class, and I'm working with 2 other students. I'm going to bring the students in. Or someone says, I'm teaching a college class in this way, and I've got 2 other teachers who are working with me. Or I'm a community organizer, and I'm organizing community around these kinds of issues. And we're engaged with Freudian dialogue, community dialogue. There's theater workshops, theater processes. This is how we use Augusto Boal's theater, and people make proposals, and then we select them. And we select. We got over 110 proposals. So we selected about 75 to 80, and we will present those over a series of 3 days. The conference dates, just to be clear, begins on Thursday evening, June 26th. And it begins in the UNO Theater, in the Weber Fine Arts Building Theater, where we'll do an event called Legislative Theater. And in Legislative Theater, what we do is we will have guests up front who have been in education, who are educators. We're going to model this. It would be best if it's done for the Education Committee of the unicameral. But
They're invited, aren't they?
They're absolutely invited.
Okay.
Absolutely, they're invited.
Okay.
And we do scenes, and we ask the audience which scenes they want to work on. That we present, and then of those scenes we can intervene. The audience sees a person who's oppressed, who's having difficulty, but they're a good person. They're from our community, they're working for what we want, and they encounter the antagonists, the oppressors, and there's a real royal battle, and eventually our person fails, which often happens. We ask the audience, does this seem true? If we've done our work, the audience will say, yes, it does. We say, okay, now talk to each other. Share, what would you do if you were that person? What would you propose? And so unlike normal theater, standard theater, where your audience comes in and sits down and shuts up, here we want the audience to start talking to each other. Talk a lot. Engage in inventing and sharing ideas with each other about what might be possible in that scene, which is only a 3 or 4 or 5 minute scene anyway. And then we say, okay, audience, we're going to start this again. If you have an idea of something you would do differently, stop the scene. Stop the oppression. It's a great image. You know, stop the oppression. And we have them to come in and take the place of the person who's oppressed, and the person then does their solution with the rest of the actors who have been in the workshop, learned how to keep pressure on, but not too much pressure, to test out this proposal. And here it is, our own community now making actual physical, vocal proposals and rehearsing the change that we want.
Wow.
Then we turn to the audience and say, okay, audience, Jaime just did this. What do you think of that? So the audience becomes the critical thinkers. And they can share, yeah, I think it was good this way, I think it was good this way, I didn't necessarily agree with this, and somebody says, I think it should be this. Oh, okay, no more shoulds, please come up and show what you think. And so we get another person, so we get many interventions in that moment in the scene. 4, 5, 6. So we begin to see these difficulties are complex, and people have different points of view about what's possible. But we open it up publicly so that people say, oh no, I understand this more. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can't do this one or this one, but maybe I can do that one. So if I have to go to talk to the school board or whatever about the issue of our kids in our community getting educations and dealing with Spanish and Spanish learning, I've learned something about this, and now I think I can do that. And what it does, I don't like the word empowerment. I like the words bring the power out of. So I don't want to empower a community because I don't want to give them my power. I don't know if what I have is really appropriate. But I know that communities and individuals have power. They have thinking power and passion and intuition, and I want to bring that power to the surface and with other people. So I want to bring the power out and let people get an experience of how perhaps we can change this situation either in the micro or eventually in the macro, in the big. So I'll have people coming from around the United States and from around Omaha. We have a number of Omaha proposals into sessions. There will be about 8 to 10 sessions every hour and a half. So you get a lot of things to choose from. The program will show you, here's 8 to 10 things going on at 1 o'clock, and you can pick what you want to go to. And some of them will be in, most of them will be in the Community Engagement Center. Some will be in the CPACS building right next door. And in this regard, we get to really work closely with 10, 15, 20, 30 people talking together about this particular issue. We'll have a couple of all-conference sessions that I want to talk about. On the first day, we've invited in a man named Jesse Hagapian. And Jesse's an African-American man from Seattle. And he led the charge and the effort of Seattle's teachers to challenge the rigid testing system that was set up so long ago under No Child Left Behind. And the teachers brought the case for a couple of years that this is not working. Not only is it not working, but we can see in fact that there is a fall off of student achievement when all they're looking to do is find the right answer. So he said, we don't want to do this, and they finally convinced the Seattle Public Schools last year to begin to dismantle the testing system and to begin to build up what they call the portfolio system of evaluation, where all of the students' activities are given a system of simple but credible evaluation. So your trombone solo, and you're being quarterback on the football team, or you're being the spiker on the volleyball team, and you're working on the yearbook.
It
And
all has value.
it all has value. It's the full human being. It's a full student. We're evaluate the teachers and overseers will be to evaluate where they think they are at, so that schools or employers or people interested in this student will see a rich complex of what they do. And one of the things we know is that some students aren't particularly good at academic learning. They are good at active learning. They're good at getting engaged in something and solving a problem in terms of a political group in the school, and they really work on something very dynamic. And we want to be able to say, look, this is this skill as well, so that the people looking at this will see not just the test grades, but and those evaluations, but we'll see a much more rich and complex history. That's what they have adopted in Seattle.
Wow.
They're doing it now.
And has there been any data come out of there?
It's only been a year.
Okay, well, we'll
It's
give
only
it
been a year.
a year.
But Jesse will be here,
And so that's one day.
and he's a middle school teacher.
Wow.
He's not like an
And
administrator.
he's from Seattle.
He's from Seattle, and so that'll be on Friday, the 27th,
Okay.
at 10:30 in the morning. I will probably be up there. We have a person who's scheduled to be with him called Donaldo Macedo, who's a Cape Verdean, and he's a very experienced and knowledgeable person in Frary and translations, but he might not be able to make it because of family issues. So it might be me just talking with
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'll talk with Jesse Agap, ask the questions.
So
and-
that's Friday.
That's Friday. And then Saturday, I have a woman named Gloria Ladson Billings coming in, and she's another African-American author. She has written books about urban education and why it is failing kids. And she will also have a companion up there who will talk with her about her material. We also have a pre-conference workshop, which we would love to get adults and students into. If they can contact you, that's fine. You can put them in touch with me. And the pre-conference workshop is in legislative theater. Now, it's 3 days. It takes place Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the 24th, 25th, 26th, from 1 to 6 in the afternoon, so it's a lot of time. But it's going to be an extraordinary experience. Working with Barbara Santos, who's one of Boal's original company down in Rio de Janeiro, and Jose Soeiro, who's Portuguese, and was the youngest member of the Portuguese National Assembly ever elected. Got elected at age 24, and used legislative theater to go out into the community and do scenes. And he would sit there as the legislator, and then people would do scenes and educate him about what they were dealing with, and then the audience was asked to write the legislation.
Wow.
And pass it forward.
Well, that's a pretty exciting concept.
That's what we're gonna do.
Now, I've been reading or doing a lot of research on multicultural education.
Okay, good.
And a lot of the issues that you're talking about with respect to testing and the different models they use and how that's been sort of it limited to a certain privileged view.
Kind of learning, that's right.
And this, it seems to me, it feeds in real well. It blends in real well with what you're talking about. Or am I mistaken?
We have to look at education as process. It's not a product. You're not stamping out a product. You are engaging people in a process of learning, of inquiring, and especially of enjoying each other. That's very important. There was a book written back in the 60s called Education and Ecstasy, and I remember I mentioned it to one of my faculty members at my graduate school, and he said, "No, I think those are exclusive." Usually exclusive. And I said, well, not in the life I'm going to lead. It took me another 20 years to get there. But the enjoyment of exchanging with people, we know that people educate each other on the street. We learn things on the street. We call it non-formal learning. We do that all the time. We need to pull that into the classroom where people are asked to engage in matters, and particularly for Freire, he said, this is the pedagogy of the oppressed. This is for people who are living under some kind of assault. And that this is what we're offering as a way of not just individually, but collaboratively developing processes whereby liberation can happen. Now, one of the things I'd like to point out, Brazil, it had horrible military dictatorships back in the 60s and 70s, just awful. They didn't dismantle until the middle of the 80s. And it was, if I may say, it was supported and promoted by the United States. But Paulo Freire, in fact, had to leave Brazil. Augusto Boal had to leave Brazil. But that those seeds were planted, those approaches were planted, and one of the things that happened in the late 90s was the election of Lula da Silva, the first black man to be elected in a position in all of South America to national state. And now what you see is these insurrections. They're bringing the FIFA World Cup there. A lot of people saying, why are you doing this instead of education and healthcare? And that's a good question. And that's Paulo Freire.
Well, I'm, again, because of just my limited understanding of the institution of teaching and learning.
Sure.
One of the things that I'm trying to do is impose and what I'm learning now is that the individual, with respect to their own identity and their ethnicity, their own culture, their own, societies within societies, that one of the problems is that the model that we're using now is skewed towards one society.
It's a European structure.
Right, and
It's a
so,
European structure, yeah.
and so I'm excited about this because it goes much deeper than just a historical perspective of recognition. This is in the process of critically thinking an issue out.
That's right.
It's going to include your experience, which is your cultural experience, your language,
Right.
your customs, you know, almost everything. So that's going to bring it out automatically,
Right.
and that is powerful.
And one of the things, if I could say, I think the Latino culture, the Mexican culture is highly dialogical already. On the streets, people talk with each other, engage. There's something about engaging in ideas, gestures and sounds and getting in. This is part of the culture. Why take that away in the school setting?
Well, it sounds, to me, of course, I'm easily impressed. But this approach sounds really, really good to me. And now, how many people are actually going to attend this conference that you know?
Right now, we've got about 175, 180 are registered, and I'm looking for 200. If I got to 200, I'd be very happy.
Okay, now, you said that local people will also be invited, or I know you talked about students
Yeah.
coming that, I know there's a cost.
No, there's a cost, but because of some grants that we received, we can pay the registration costs for the conference of up to 100 Omaha citizens. And we're already up to 60.
So you got 60 Omaha
60
citizens.
already who have been paid for to go to the conference.
And
And it
what's-
includes lunch, includes food.
Good things.
Yeah.
And can I ask you what that registration fee is?
Well, there's no limit, well, I mean, if the people are gonna register to come, if you did the membership and the conference fee, maybe come to 180,
$180.
but that's being paid for. So,
Okay.
so if people, we need to give them this information, and maybe they can contact you, but if they go to our webpage, which is very simple,
Okay.
ptoweb.org, and if they click on, they see a tab there about a third of the way down on the conference page, and it says Omaha Scholarships. And you click on Omaha Scholarships, and if you can say, I am an Omaha citizen, or also I'm an Omaha student, I'm a UNO student, or whatever, you can click on that, there's money to pay for that. And you click on it, and we will send you a promo code, that's what they call it. You get that within 24 hours, then you go back to the registration page, you fill that all in, fill in, your diet restrictions, you fill in your accessibility issues, we've got all that too. You get to the pay page, you put in the promo code, you're in.
You're in.
You're in.
Okay, now, 3 days, from the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
No, one more time. From the 26th.
Oh, what about this? From the 26th of June.
Through the 29th.
Oh, to the
That's a
29th.
Thursday through Sunday. And you don't have to come to the whole conference. You can come to part of it. If you have to go to work, go to work.
Okay, so, and hours typically?
But 9 to 6. 9 in the morning to 6 at night.
Okay.
Yep.
9
And
to 6.
we will promise, we will have really good continental breakfast setups. We will provide lunch, and we will provide refreshments of that continental breakfast and whatever, what we call a setup, all day long.
And it's all there at UNO.
It's all UNO. So,
And this, Barbara White's Human Engagement Center. Where's that?
Community Engagement Center.
Community engagement, okay,
Yeah,
community
yeah.
engagement.
And so if people have no UNO at all, they know where the bell tower is. It's a
Right.
big bell tower. It's right behind that.
Okay.
So if you're on Dodge Street, you'll see the bell tower, and right behind it is the new Community Engagement Center.
It's brand new, huh?
Brand new, it just opened in March.
Was that the old engineering building?
Oh, it's a brand new building.
Where the field was?
No, it's where a parking lot was.
Okay.
Which is really too bad for UNO.
I hear you, behind the administration building.
UNO has problems with parking. But it's right there. It was built as a community engagement center. So now we have, and you might be interested in this, we have partners in the community who can rent space, office space, in the building at a month at a time or a year at a time at substantially less rates than you're going to get, out in the normal world. And so we have various groups. I think we have about 25 groups now who are there. So you meet people who are doing this work. You meet people who are engaged in the community. You just go across the hall, talk to people. And
Well, I don't know if you know that I used to work at the university from 1970 to 1976. I knew Sam Walker and those guys.
Sam, yeah,
Back
of
with
course,
the,
yeah.
I was with the College of, I was there before the College of Public Affairs was there in Dean
Yeah,
Dock,
because
yeah.
that just cranked up.
Yeah.
Just was cranking up.
Yeah, and our offices were in the old mansions that were
Yes.
directly west of, they're no longer there.
Only one of them is.
Yeah, just one.
That's
But
wonderful.
everything's changed, since over the 30 or 40 years or
When
so.
when you say that, that's what Freire says too. People say, I want to change the world, and the guy say, look, the world's going to change. It doesn't
That's
need
right.
you. It's going to change. The question is in what direction and by whom.
Well, I always say this, that with the coming demographies,
Yeah.
with the browning of America,
That's right.
that this type of concept, it seems to me, would work the best in terms of a smooth transition, whichever way it goes.
That's right.
You know, otherwise you're going to have conflict.
We're gonna be done pretty soon, Jim.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I got
got
this
that?
eagle eye, man. Listen, Doug, I tell you, it's been an honor having you here.
Great honor to be here.
I really look forward to you helping me with this Teatro Latino or Chicano.
There it is.
And there it is. This thing here, it has legs.
It has
This
legs.
thing has legs, and I hope that people take time out of their busy schedule and go out and participate. Man, I wish that are you videotaping it?
We're gonna videotape some of it. We did a huge videotape project the last time we were here, and it took so long to
Yeah.
get that edit. You know what that's like.
Edited.
We had like a 3-camera shoot.
Anyway,
It took forever. Anyway,
God bless you. Thank you.
thank you.
Until we meet again.
Appreciate it.
God bless.
Thanks so much.
So you may not have known that you didn't just come to sit in the audience. You didn't just come to watch a play. You came to participate in a brainstorming experience. You just shake somebody's hand next to you. But the rule is, you can't let go of their hand until you shake somebody else's hand. And then when I say red, you say blue. Red. Blue. Blue. Red. Red, red, red. Blue, blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Red, red, red. Yes, yes, red. No, no, blue. Beautiful. Now you are suitably confused, which is exactly as it should be. And
Okay, looks like a pretty standard situation of fatherly neglect here. Alright, look, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go totally nuts here, and I'm gonna give you 30 days. 30 days, but at that time, I wanna see urines, I wanna see documentation that you completed your program, I wanna see pay stubs, I wanna see a lease, I wanna see your kindergarten report card.
I got my place!
Alright, Mr. Monk, I don't know, surprise me. What do you have?
Well, Your Honor, I have the papers, the documents that you asked for.
No, Mr. Monk, I'm not interested in your papers. You know what? This is ridiculous. I've gone through this 10 times this week. I'm not interested in it. Mr. Monk, your best is not good enough, and you've demonstrated that time and time again. I'm sick of it. I can't abide by it any longer. I grant custody, full custody, to Miss Bertha, court adjourned. That's it.
I do everything I'm supposed to do. I make my meetings, and this is the way the court treats me. This is my daughter. She's 4 years old. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to start getting drunk, getting high, doing drugs. I don't care anymore.
Then you people call, say beware, doll, your mind's falling, you thought they were off. Kidding you. You used to laugh about.
so, who here has an idea for a specific moment in the play? I want you to come here and tell me, I want to try that courtroom scene. Or I want to try that scene with the cop where he gets a fine for littering.
I don't know what to say, Mr. Monk. This is just going to be more of the same, right? I mean, you're just like every other person who comes through here and gives me a nice sob story and tells me that everything's going to turn around, and...
But actually, Your Honor, I'm not. I'm a human being that has my past, and I hope that you could see each person as an individual with their own pain and their own mistake.
Mr. Monk, are you Abraham Lincoln? Well, Mr. Monk, I think we've heard about enough today.
I didn't think you were going to hear this from me. That's why I asked my friends for help. And I had Ray, the preacher at the church that I go to, write up this letter on my behalf, man. And I also had this letter written by Miss Connolly, the social worker.
So what did Jared try? Very new. Help.
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 Yes, Lord.
Support. So, there's many, many, many more ideas that we could come up with in this room for all of those different moments. And none of them are the solution. But they might work better or worse in one situation or another. They might work for me and not for you. But now we've just brainstormed a whole bunch of possibilities.
In August 2010, there were nearly 37,000 homeless people, including 9,500 homeless families, with 14,500 homeless children sleeping each night in New York City.